Hi everyone, welcome to Mark's 900. I'm Mark, and today I'm going to answer a question which I've had for a while, which is just how good is this piece of plastic which I use to protect my eyes? Now, helmets don't have to have visors because of course you can have an open-faced helmet, and information on visor testing from the main certification bodies is a bit difficult to pick out. You've got the American DOT standard, which doesn't appear to cover it at all. There's the Euro ECE body, which do include testing against the visor, and certainly testing against just projectiles, that's all they say. And then there's Snell, who actually go into detail and show videos of their visor testing, but for obvious reasons, their real focus is on crash protection, impact zones and abrasion. So this helmet is an HJC IS-17, and if we look at the back, it has an ECE marking and a British ACU gold sticker that means I can use it on a racetrack. Now, it's also listed on the Sharp website, which does independent assurance testing, and it's listed as a 5-star helmet, so the visor should really be good. But I want to test that for myself. Now, the visor on here doesn't really have anything other than an E9 marking, which means it's registered in Spain, and there's no other sort of safety marking. And moreover, there's a plethora of advice on the internet about what you should and shouldn't put on your visor. Nothing with even the slightest abrasive quality, only certain waxes, no strong detergents, and the list goes on and on. It's almost as if it's made with the most delicate substance known to man, and I find that a bit of a worry. Now just think about it, you're going along at about 60 miles an hour and a stone gets flicked up by the car in front and hits you at say 50 miles an hour. Well, that's a solid stone hitting you between the eyes at a combined speed of 110 miles an hour. And let's be honest, it could be even faster than that. I actually had to swap out my visor on this HJC helmet because I put this massive scratch in it, which was about there, and I've no idea how I put that scratch there, which is another worry. Anyway, as an aside, that was well worth doing. It must be like sort of getting your cataracts done, where you suddenly can see really clearly everything around you. But the good news for us is that I now have a spare visor to play with, and this will help me answer the question about whether it can provide an adequate level of eye protection. All I need now is a way to test it, and what better excuse do I need than to shoot the crap out of it? So this gun is a German Visor HW95 air rifle, which is as powerful as it gets in the UK without needing a license. So it has 12 foot-pounds of energy and shoots a 2.2 lead pellet at about 600 feet per second or 400 miles an hour. Now, I'm a decent enough shot, but I'm not going to go and put my old visor back on my helmet and shoot it just in case I do miss. But I'll think up some other way of securing it. I'm also going to use this other helmet that I was given, and this is a very cheap helmet which cost about 50 quid, and at that price I don't have enough faith in it to allow any of my pillions to wear it, despite the fact that it has an ECE sticker as well. Now, the visor on it feels really flimsy, so I'm going to have to shoot at this as well. Also, I have an old pair of shooting glasses that I used to use. I'm not a big fan of the yellow ones, so I'm going to shoot these as well. I know for a fact that these are polycarbonate and offer a fantastic level of protection from flying pellets. In fact, up at the old Clay Pigeon Club, we shot at a set of these with a 12-ball shotgun, and it would have definitely saved my eyes. Okay, so the rest of my face would have been ripped off, but my eyes would have been fine. So I'm hoping that my visor's as strong as these. And finally, I have a selection of sort of similar feeling plastic which I've got lying around the house that I'm going to have a shoot at, just to compare and see if the visor is in fact just plastic like these, or whether it's made of something a bit more special. Right, enough of the waffle. Let's go and get on with it. First off then, let's get zeroed in. We're at about 6 meters, and gosh, look at that, we got it first time. That was maybe a little bit off to the right, but not bad for a first shot. We'll just get that tuned in, and then we'll line everything up on the bench. So on the left we've got the glasses, the safety glasses in yellow there. They're just resting up against a stone. I've got the plastic tube at the back. I've got the old visor off my helmet, which is sitting there against a watermelon. Now, I did try and fit it to a watermelon, couldn't find one big enough. Not at this time of year anyway. So that one's sitting there in front of a little melon, just resting against it. And then on the end we've got the very cheap £50 helmet with the visor closed on it. So let's have a go at shooting these. So first shot, bosh, hit the plastic tube, lovely. Second shot, oh, and those glasses go flying. And then another shot from the kneeling position, that's hit the visor. And then another one, and we've hit the visor on the cheap helmet. So let's go and have a look at what the damage is. So the plastic tube, the pellet went straight through it, and I've got to say, right through the middle as well. Quite pleased with that as a shot. So that wouldn't be any good, that type of plastic. The glasses which flew up in the air have got the very slightest dent in them. Really nothing much at all on there. This visor, actually where the pellet hit, is cracked it right down the bottom there. So I was a bit disappointed. The pellet itself didn't go through, but the visor did crack. Now, of course, it wasn't really supported properly, so I'm not sure that was a fair test. And then this cheap visor, again, the pellet hasn't gone all the way through. It's gone deeper than it did on the other visor, but actually, I'm quite pleased with that. It didn't penetrate the visor at all. So what I've done now is taken my old visor and I've put it onto this cheap helmet, and I've obviously had to tape it in place because the fixings are different. So what I'm going to do now is shoot my my visor off my HJC helmet on this one and see how it goes. We should see this hit the middle of the visor. There it goes, and then we'll stick another one in for good measure. There we go, there's another one. And then coming in, let's have a look at what the damage is on this. So that doesn't look too bad at all with the visor shut and secured all around the outside. But I want to test this helmet as well, so I'm going to turn it sideways and fire a pellet into the side just about there. So let's see how this goes. So a quick shot, and to be honest with you, I thought there'd be a lot more damage. It's just a very slight dent. So whilst I was doing this, I did think, well, what about if you were wearing just a normal pair of glasses? And so here is a normal pair of glasses. So these could be sunglasses or reading glasses. Either way, you might be tempted to use them on an open face helmet, and oh, that would definitely have hurt. So let's have another look at that in slow-mo, and they did absolutely nothing in terms of protection. So that was a good day's shooting, and let's go through everything. First of all, the household plastics. Well, as predicted, the pellets went straight through them, and they weren't really up to it, but they were just our reference point. In terms of glasses, we've got the safety glasses, and they were excellent, as you would expect. I mean, they are shooting glasses after all, and if a pellet was to hit you in the eye while you were wearing these, it would just glance off. It leaves only the tiniest dent on there as well. In fact, you can't even feel it on the inside of the glass. So those were fantastic. Not so good with the normal glasses, and they just exploded when a pellet hit them. So I can't say that I would recommend wearing normal glasses if you were saying wearing an open face helmet. Then we've got the visors. Well, this is my HJC visor. It's my old one. I shot it 4 times in the end, and the first one cracked the screen because it wasn't fully closed. Now, what I would say is that where it hit the visor and the visor was closed and supported all the way round and fitted correctly, actually it did a really good job. I mean, it's not as good as the safety glasses, but it really did do a good job. Again, you can't really feel much on the inside there, so the pellet has barely made a mark in it. However, if you were to ride along with your visor slightly up, perhaps to let some wind in and some air, that's probably more dangerous, just because we can see there that it would in fact crack. So that's what we've learnt from that visor. And then there's a big surprise for me was the cheap helmet. Okay, so as I said, it's ECE marked, so it should be at a certain standard of safety, but I still didn't think that this horrible flimsy visor was really going to be up to much. And actually, it stopped those pellets really well. It didn't do as good a job as this one, but it still did a really good job of stopping the pellets. You can definitely feel a very big bump on the inside there, and you know, I've shot it twice, and it's done a great job. Now, I also shot the helmet itself because I didn't think this was up to much, and I can barely even find where I shot it. I thought there would be a massive dent in it, or it would be penetrated by the pellet, but none of it. It's done a really good job. So that 50 quid helmet, which I've effectively just ruined, actually might have been all right all along. Well, those are my conclusions from my day of shooting. So there you go. Have some faith in your visor and make sure you wear it, and wear it closed and wear it properly. And the only other thing I can tell you is to keep your chains oiled, and I'll see you soon.